Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30 and I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm wearing the Jimmy Buffett shirt, so come on, give me a break. I want to talk about AI and how there was this scene that came out recently from ByteDance's app that they're going to be releasing, and it showed Brad Pitt, or what looked like Brad Pitt, fighting Tom Cruise. And I could not tell the difference between Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in real life and this AI. It had mannerisms, it had all these little things. Now some people may say, "Oh, I can tell it's AI. I can easily tell that." Can you though? Because I was watching that thing and I was watching it very closely. Yes, there were lines in there that neither of them would ever say, like, "You killed so and so. He was a good man." And I was watching that and I was like, okay, Brad Pitt would never say that line. But that being said, AI is at that point now where I think Hollywood is starting to take notice. And when I say Hollywood taking notice, I think what we have to keep in mind is that it's going this way. It's already been going this way for like 30 to 40 odd years. Computer generated, like CGI, we have that. We've had that for a long time. You have green screen there. You have all these things. Now you might say, oh, but it has real actors. Real actors, real people are interacting with this stuff. Well, if movies started to use AI for this sort of stuff, could it be done in a way that is bringing in the actors? Now, a lot of people know that I have recently talked about Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis can no longer act. He is in a state now where he really can't do it. And as I look for Die Hard, Bruce Willis can't do these sort of movies anymore. He can't do any movies anymore, really. But about 5 years, 10 years ago, Bruce Willis saw the way it was going. And he said, you know what? Let's make a deal while I'm still able to make a deal in my mind. It's still there. I want to be paid. My family wants to be paid. What happens after I'm gone, I'm okay with. Just pay my family. And the family would also be along the lines of his wishes. Now, you might say, oh, but that is so wrong. I saw a lot of people, and this is a point of topic in the physical media community. It's a point of topic in the film community, the television community. I've seen Jeff from Films at Home recently talk about it, saying if you go and support an AI movie, you're not really watching a movie, you're not really supporting things, no one should ever go and watch these movies. I did see what Jeff had to say about that. He put a post up. I recommend you go and listen to what Jeff said on his post. But my stance on it is, if the actors are getting paid and the studio is overseeing this, I'm not going to support anything that's just like, oh, some user generated it on the internet and they just put it up there. That I can't support. But if a studio's doing it and saying like, oh, Warner Brothers are releasing a new Die Hard movie, or 20th Century is releasing a new Die Hard movie, Bruce Willis will be in it. His family have given the approval. We have paid the family. We are doing it in a way that is approved by the family, so we're not making him look odd. We're not putting him in a light that doesn't reflect him great. We are doing it in a way that you still see Bruce Willis, and it is approved by his family now, because Bruce Willis can no longer give that approval, I don't believe. He has approved something way back, but he can no longer... I don't know where his mind is right now, but obviously his family would be along the lines of like saying, okay, as his executor, as the ones who execute his will, we agree to this as long as we agree to this payment. So I think a lot of times that's the way it's going to go. And as we look at what's happened this week, Robert Duvall has left us. What happens if in 20 years Robert Duvall gave his approval before he passed and said, oh, you know what? Make another Godfather prequel down the line if you must. Just pay my family, pay everyone, pay what you need to pay. Make sure it portrays me in the right mannerisms, this and that. We don't know if that's what Robert Duvall said, but I'm sure he would have let people close to him know that if it goes that way, perhaps that's okay. Maybe it's not. With actors who have passed away many decades ago, like Marlon Brando, John Wayne, I don't think that's a viable option, because obviously unless the estate approves it, I don't think that's right, because they're not here to say how they would do it. Now, Zelda Williams has come out and said, Robin Williams' daughter, I think it's Robin Williams' daughter. Might have been, I don't know if she is them, they, I don't know if she's transitioned, or I think there was some talk about that. I'm not sure. It might have even been Cher's daughter. I might be getting them mixed up. But Zelda Williams, I believe that they came out recently. I'm just going to say they to be safe. They came out recently and said that They don't believe Robin Williams should be brought back via AI. Robin Williams had mannerisms that just don't translate well to an AI. And Robin Williams had comedic timing. He had mannerisms that you can't replicate. He had the mindset of on the fly, without thinking about it, with anything, he just went. He just knew, okay, switch into this gear. You can't replicate that with AI. So in the case of Robin Williams, I would not feel comfortable watching a Robin Williams movie. A, because he was not here to sign off on the AI, but also because his family have made it very clear that they don't want that. But as I said, if it's a Bruce Willis movie and he said before he lost part of himself that he wanted that to be the case and he wanted AI, then I say there's no harm in it. Will the audience go and see it though? This is the issue with AI. I personally would if it's done in the right way. So I mean, have real actors there, have stand-ins, have all that stuff, but also don't make it in a way that makes him portrayed in the wrong light. If you're having Bruce Willis via AI in Die Hard, a new Die Hard sequel, then perhaps make it along the lines of, hey, we want to pay his son or his daughter to be in the movie and as a stand-in, we're going to put AI over them, but that's a way to keep the Willis family looped in, and then they have sign off on the movie about how he's portrayed. I think that's the right way to go. And also, I think that protects the reputation. I think that protects, if a studio's doing it, I think that protects the way the movie industry is. And we've been going this way for a very long time. CGI, computer-generated imagery, green screens. Don't forget that practical effects haven't been really big since the 90s. Now, they have been in there, don't get me wrong, practical effects are still there, but they're not as prominent as they once was. It's not like a Jurassic Park where you have the T-Rex coming in, and even then, Jurassic Park was mixed so seamlessly with AI, or not AI, but computer-generated, that you could really not tell the difference. Now, you could tell when the T-Rex steps in, yes, that's computer generated compared to the real T-Rex model, the animatronics. You know what you're looking at. But I think a lot of people are like, it's done together so well by a studio that oversaw this and put big budgets into it that it works. Now, I think the thing with ByteDance and this new app is that people are really getting about that mindset of, oh, well, here goes everything. I've seen people put, Martin Luther King coming down the ramp at Monday Night Raw. I've seen Tupac in the ring versus Biggie. So I think, yeah, that's kind of problematic, and they have to do something about that. Disney's really stepping up now, saying we don't want this, we don't want anything to do with this, and we control it, obviously, but I think Disney's made it very clear. And I think, what happens when you have a Beatles song, for example, where John Lennon sang the song, it's under there, but it's got all this stuff over the top, you can't really hear it. What happens when they just look at it and say, you know what? John Lennon is there. He sang this Beatles song. We can make a new Beatles song, but we have to use AI to get those vocals from underneath everything else. I think a lot of people were okay because he sang that song. It was in rehearsals or whatever. Yoko Ono signed off on it. Julian Lennon also signed off on it, I believe. So, the Lennon family were very much involved in that. But there's also this mindset that, no, John Lennon never should be released. John Lennon's gone. We don't want a new Beatles song. But then why did it go to number one on the charts? I'm saying people will watch and listen to AI. It just has to be done right in alignment with everyone who's involved. Whether that be the actors, whether that be the estates left over, whether they actually should occur. As I said, Robin Williams had mannerisms. You can't replicate those. Now, it may get very close, but even then, you don't have that experience. It's like very cold AI, it's very much like, oh, we don't know if that's what Robin Williams would have done because he's not here. Now, in an action movie like Bruce Willis, his family could say, oh, well, we believe he would have done it this way. That's where you integrate into AI, the family and the estate. Michael Jackson has a movie coming out, the family is very much involved in that, and people have said, why don't we give it to that Instagram guy who thinks he's Michael Jackson? He isn't Michael Jackson, by the way. He thinks he is. I don't know what his name is, but you know who I'm talking about. They've got the family, and I'm like, you know what? I am actually okay with that. Michael Jackson having a film with his nephew in it, that makes sense, because the family is going to make sure that he's not portrayed in a bad light. Now, given there's a big debate about Michael Jackson online in the past couple of months about, oh, the files, is he, isn't he, what's this, what's that, it's been in the way for decades. I'm not going to comment on that, but I'm along the lines of Michael Jackson went to court. He defended himself. He had that right, and nothing was recorded against him. And then also, this was one of the most powerful men in the music industry. He owned the Beatles catalog at one point. Who knows how much power and how much he knew to where maybe something like a setup could have happened. We don't know. I'm not feeding into conspiracy theories, but I'm just saying, when I read this stuff and I'm reading documents, I'm like, if anyone could do it, it would be these people. If anyone could set up Michael Jackson, it could be these people. And who knows, maybe he was taking people to Neverland Ranch to get him away from that culture. We don't know what happened. But Macaulay Culkin has come out and said nothing happened. People have come and said nothing's happened. Like, there are a lot of people who have said nothing happened. Everything was fine with Michael Jackson. There are people who've also said, because we have to keep balance. People have also come out and said, oh, Michael Jackson did this to us, Michael Jackson did that. So we have to keep the balance. But as I read these documents, I'm starting to believe that it's complicated with Michael Jackson. That being said, I probably will watch the Michael Jackson movie. A, because it's going to be a phenomenal movie. B, because he has some of the most iconic music of all time. And another reason is because I just want to watch a good movie. Honestly, I just want to watch a good movie. And this is where AI ties into it. If there's a stunt that can't be done, now I know Tom Cruise has dedicated himself, and Jackie Chan as well, to we do all our stunts. It's part of our setup. It's part of what we do. But let's say there's a stunt that neither of them can do. Within like believability. I mean, they've got cars jumping in Fast and Furious from space now, so I mean, who knows what's going to happen with Fast and Furious. I'm sure they'll bring back Paul Walker at some point. They already have. I think his brother came in and then they put the CGI over him. That's a way to do it, but bring the family back. But also, we don't know if that's what Walker wanted, But yeah, what do you think about this AI debate? Because it is becoming big in the movie community. It is becoming big in the film and TV industry. It's becoming big in the music industry. It's becoming big online. What do you think about AI? Should it be done? And A, what happens? Do you feel comfortable about going to see a Bruce Willis movie in 10, 15 years? Let's say Bruce Willis is no longer here in like 20, 30 odd years. We don't know how long he has. We don't know what he's being given. We know his health has declined. We know his family's looking after him. And my thoughts are with Bruce Willis. But we don't know when Bruce Willis will ultimately leave us. We all leave this planet and plane of existence at some point. So what I have to ask is, after Bruce Willis is no longer here with us, whether that be he's no longer capable of making decisions for himself, or whether he has left us like Robert Duvall, I think a lot of us will ask, are we comfortable watching a Bruce Willis movie that's new coming out? A, he signed off on it, so I believe, hey, if this was his wishes, I want to see something that's aligned with his wishes. B, if his family's involved in it and saying, yep, as long as you do it this way and we're getting paid this, pay the artists. If you're using their likeness, pay them. Because otherwise you get into Back to the Future 2 territory, Crispin Glover, That whole the thing of like making Crispin Glover, cutting in from Back to the Future 2, but then also kind of using his likeness. Big problem. But as I said, as long as the artists are getting paid, I am someone who will be like, you know what? I want it done aligned. I want it done proper. I want AI done in a way that upholds some sort of control, some sort of, okay, a big studio is producing this. It's not just someone online in their room just creating it on ChatGPT. It's someone who has taken time saying, we're going to look at every frame of this AI. We're going to alter it to make sure that it portrays everything in the right light, make sure that the director is overseeing stuff. Bruce Willis, his family, and Bruce Willis himself, when he was here, has said this is okay. Let's do it. Let's try this out. I think that's a win. I think Bruce Willis in movies for the next 100 years is a good thing. More Bruce Willis, more money for his family. That's a good thing. But as I said, there was also AI I don't agree with. Robin Williams, don't bring Robin Williams back. His family have made it very clear that's not what he wanted or what they want. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. And also, let's not portray him in the wrong light. Like, I did see that AI with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, and they were saying lines that they will never say. I'm not a fan of that. But as I said, it's a point of contention in the film and TV industry and in the media industry overall. Let me know what you think. And while you're here, like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Follow my Instagram, Jamie Toomey Presents. And while you're at it, check out a couple of end screens. I'll leave them there, and you can check them both out. And yeah. Like and subscribe and like everything and hype the channel and everything. Catch you in the next one. Peace.